Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and today I would like to take a look at and introduce you to a brand new product and a brand new brand. This is Team Cayote. And this is fantastic, a new brand of electronics that we've got here exclusively at Hearns. This is the first in Australia, so I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing, a bit of an overview, and tell you what we've got so far. Right, so Team Cayote comes out of some very well traveled and accomplished people. So here we have their first range of batteries, and here I've got Shorties. I've got this Shorty in my hand. It's a 4400 140C. This is designed absolutely for racing, and racing in the highest specifications. I'm just going to get this stuff out the way here and have a closer look for you guys. Just zooming in here. So the Team Cayote stuff, you can see, is really beautiful. It has that beautiful teal colouring. 140C, 2S, 7.4 volt LiPo. Really nice. Got all the specifications on the side. Ultra low centre of gravity. Really high performance pack. Now the battery plugs do in fact go all the way through, so you can mount it in a different variety of vehicles and have different wiring configurations. And it does come with these rubber blanking plugs, which is really good. So once you've got it set up for your car or your application, you could even glue them in place so you can't accidentally put it in upside down and in fact reverse polarity your gear. So that is really cool function there. Here I have the low center of gravity option, the 5200. These are perfect for both on-road and off-road applications. And these will have 140C, these will be perfect for stock racing. These one here will be really good in two-wheel drive off-road, stock or modified. Like I said, the slightly smaller one's probably better in four-wheel drive applications, particularly where you need a really light car. But yeah, fantastic news. Really good looking product. Now something that's probably a little bit more substantial is, let's have a look at the Crest 10. Now this is a speed controller, the Crest 10, referring to 10th scale. Again, really beautiful packaging. And we can go a little bit further here and I'll show you one that's installed. And it's got the specifications on the back, which is really nice and clear. So it's rated at 120 amps burst, 120 amps continuous, 780 amps burst. That's per phase. And there's brushless motors and can also run sensorless as well. So it can be a hybrid configuration, can be sensored or sensorless, and it is specifically designed for 1/10 electric buggy, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and professional competition touring cars. So we'll run all the way down to 4.5 turns, no problems at all. Can run blinky, can also run full turbo and boost applications. Designed to be used with 2S LiPo, very standard for 10th scale. Now the BEC output, this is something that's really strong on this unit. So 6 or 7.4 volt continuous, and that's switchable. And it can hold a continuous current of 5 amps, which is amazing for the current breed of super powerful servos. And in fact, peak current of 8 amps on the BEC. So that is really cool. I really like that. That will run the most powerful servos without running a risk of radio brownout. Fan power. So fan power comes from the wiring on the ESC, plugs in. I'll show you that in closer detail. And that's 6 volt or 7.4 volt, depends how you have your BEC settings set in the speed controller. And then we have the size, 38 by 38 by 32. And then it's asking about the parameter setting method. So you can either use the multi-program LCD programming box, and there will be very soon an external Bluetooth module available. So let's do a bit of an unboxing here. Let's have a look inside exactly what you get on the Crest 10. So here I have beautiful packaging, really nice. Two-stage anodized aluminium hardware. Get this out of the packet here. Really nice, safe and sound wiring. Has a molded receiver plug, which is really good. I really like that because it gives another point where you're not going to have a bad connection or loose plug. The power button is in fact part of the case, which is really nice, and now I find that the most reliable way of having a switch on a speed controller if you are in fact going to have one. Then we have a blanking plug here, and this is for your program This is for your program box. Just take that out there. So that saves, especially if you're racing off-road, dirt and crud getting into your wiring. Really, really nice. And here we have our beautiful fan wiring, and that goes into the speed controller there. And that's plug and play as well. So if your fan does fail or you get something in it and it breaks, you can replace the fan and plug it straight in and off you go. Over here, of course, we've got the very familiar 24 karat gold plated terminals. Really, really nice solder posts here. And I'm going to try and zoom right in here if possible. Just bear with us a second, guys. I've zoomed in right close now because you can in fact see it even has tiny little solder channels here for your capacitor wiring, and that's the first time I've seen that on a speed controller, and I really like that because your capacitor wires sometimes, not usually, but sometimes you can run them from underneath, which makes for a really neat install. So I like the fact that little detail has been taken care of. While I've got a macro zoom here, you can in fact have a look at the sensor board, and there's another external plug here, and I believe that will be either for fan or indeed another external switch. That'll be a later option to come. Like I said, this is a prototype unit, all brand new. Here we're showing, got a QR code, exactly what we've got, version 1.04, version 5 software, and then a manufacturing date. So really, really cool. All alloy case. So we've got black anodized here, which has been printed on, and beautiful teal anodized. And again, underneath tells you some more details. While I've got on macro zoom 2, we'll have a look at the fan. So the fan itself actually comes in an aluminium machine housing. Look at that, that is beautiful, that fan. Aluminium housing for really good heat dissipation, and also 2-stage fan cover on the top, 2 stages in 2-stage anodized to get that really classy and impressive look. You can tell straight away that this is a very high level detailed product, so it's sure to perform even better on track. What else do we get in the box? So let's have a look in the box. Again, we've got our instructions, not just a simple leaflet that's been photocopied, nice little instruction booklet in 2 languages, Chinese, and we have in fact English. So really good, tells you everything from fitting up to specifications, calibration, which is really, really easy. So it's a simple 4-step mode to calibrate this speed controller. Really, really easy and very familiar if you've ever had a speed controller. Then we've got some setting options and specifications all the way through. So it has over 34 parameters which are changeable and readable by the program box. Really, really nice, classy looking product there. What else we got in the box? I like that it comes with a little very, very robust capacitor pack. Really nice for you to attach on and solder up exactly how you want. And what we've got here, I'm just going to empty that. We've even got lots of heat shrink. So you can in fact heat shrink your battery connectors and your posts on your speed controller for that really, really nice clean look. Comes with a bit of 3M mounting tape, make sure it's securely mounted. Comes with 2 sensor wires. Now that's something I've not seen before. Comes with a short one, predominantly for on-road use I would say, and then a longer one, which is perfect for 10th scale off-road. And I know that because I've just put it on a 2-wheel drive buggy and it fitted absolutely. It was a perfect size for my Yokomo. So that's really nice. We have pre-tinned wire, which is really nice because it hasn't all frayed the end. And this is high strand copper wire, so it's pure copper. So once you cut the tinning off, it is in fact all beautiful high grade copper in there. Really flexible, really nice silicon wire in 13 gauge, which is the perfect application whether it's stock or modified in 10th scale. So it's both easy to work with and goes on the speed controller post really, really nicely. You can of course run 12 gauge or 10 gauge, but yeah, the 13 gauge does fit and suit the 10th scale really nice. Comes with 4 strands of black wire and 1 strand of red wire. Usually denotes the positive connection on the battery. So that is the 10th scale speed controller. I'm just going to zoom out again here. Okay, what else have we got in the Team Cayote lineup? Here we have the Crest 8. Now the Crest 8 is an 8th scale speed controller, so designed for 8th scale off-road and on-road applications, and it will go up to 2S or 4S applications. That's predominantly what we race in EP8 or 8th scale off-road, for example. And I know that 8th scale on-road is becoming more and more popular. So this one here has a continuous of 200 amps per phase and 1000 amp burst, sensorless brushless motors, and even centered style as well. So we also have 8th scale buggy, electric truggy, and professional competition, 2 to 4S. The BEC output on this, again, extremely strong. So it's switchable from 6 to 7.4 volts and 8 amps continuous, 12 amps peak. That is massive, because in 8th scale servos, they actually take a lot of current. So that is really nice. And again, gives a size and the program box specifications. Beautiful packaging again on the Crest 8. Have a look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Very similar in branding to the 10th scale version. Let's have a look. Very similar packaging. Again, hard case foam, keeping it nice and sturdy, nice and safe in transit and transport. Get that out of the way. So here we have, again, we have the receiver wire and a switch wire all hardwired into the case, which is good, not an external plug. High grade silicon wire, so super flexible. And we have a really nice weatherproof looking switch. So really nice and heavy duty looking, and it's push button. So not slide switch, it's the push button switch. Really nice. So you can remotely locate it to the top of your radio tray or somewhere that's convenient, particularly in your off-road racer. Having a look at the side of the speed controller now, you can see also that we've got our program blanking plug, much like the 10th scale version. Pop that off and that's where your programming box goes, or your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth module. I'll just pop that back on, like so. We've got the fan. Again, the fan's just a little plug here into the speed controller, which is really nice. Beautiful length, that's not going to get in the way, but easily replaceable if you smash it. Now, something I really like about the install on this is all the connections are on one side. I do prefer that in the speed controllers. A lot of the 8th scale ones have like the battery connections on one side and the motor connections on the other side, but that can make the wiring in the vehicle a little bit messy. So really nice to have, again, the 24-carat gold-plated terminals mounted right there on one side with clear instructions of how to wire it up. Again, we've got all alloy case, 2 colors of anodizing, the black with the printing and the green, and again underneath giving you the specifications. And it does have a channel in here, which this is a really good, if you need to put your receiver wire under it or your switch wire, you can in fact put it under and across the car with that little channel. That's a brilliant little step, and it saves you having to double up or triple up your mounting foam, your double-sided mounting tape, to allow for the wire, so you can keep it low center of gravity and keep your wires nice and safe if you have to come under the speed controller to the other side. Again, it's showing here the QR code, the version of the unit, software, and the build date. And we've got these big capacitors here, and they're mounted on the speed controller, so you don't have to worry about placing a separate capacitor pack on the chassis. Really nice feature, and they're in the aluminium case, so they're not going to get any movement or breakout off of the circuit board. Really nice. What else do we get in the box of the Crest 8? Here we have the instructions, again just like the Crest 10. Beautiful little booklet here. Looks like we've got 2 languages again, and all the parameters. Now, the Crest 8, being an 8 scale application, comes with 10 gauge wire, and again this is the high strand copper wire. Really nice. So it comes with the 1 red positive and the 4 strands of motor and negative application here. I would recommend using this wire, and I would recommend using 10 gauge in 8 scale applications, given the higher voltage and current draws. It comes with 1 nice long sensor lead here, really nice, and again double-sided tape and heat shrink, so you can in fact get it all in there looking really neat. That's fantastic. Let me get that out of the way and show you the next product from Team Cayote. Here we have the program box. Now that is the same for 8 scale or 10 scale applications, the Crest 8 or the Crest 10. let's have a look in here. Here we have the program box, and I like this program box because it's nice in the hand. It's a typical 4-button controller if you're used to competition gear. It is really simple and easy to use. Look out for more videos on tuning and options. But yeah, a really nice LCD panel here, and comes with a battery checker. So if you want to check your battery before the start of a race, particularly in the 8 scale applications, you can put it on here and see how your cells are going. That's really, really good. It's updatable to computer with a USB-C connector. There's the ESC connection there, and here if you just want to power up and have a look at the program box itself, it does have just a power input lead. So really, really nice. I love this little program box. It feels nice and sturdy, nice in the hand, and I'll show you that when it's plugged up. We also have the connection cable here to go from the unit into your ESC, and further in the box is the instruction manual and somewhat, I imagine, a tuning guide. Single sheet instructions here, runs through step by step. Product function, product specifications, the application range, and the button function description. Really, really good. So it tells you how to go through it and what to put into it. Really, really nice. So the speed controller instruction manual has actually all the parameters for your speed controller, whether it's the Crest 8 or Crest 10, so I don't need to put it in each and every program box instruction manual. So that is a quick and broad overview of the products. Now let's have a look at some stuff installed. Here I have the latest offering from Yokomo. It's got the nice blockhead motors, pink tires on it. This is my race buggy. This is a Yokomo SO 2.0 two-wheel drive buggy. Here you can see I have got it completely fitted out and ready to race with all the latest Team Cayote products. And you can see here how well and nice everything fits up. So I've gone up and fitted this one with the 4400 ultra low profile battery. Got that in sitting in the battery cradle, really nice. Fits in really well. And again, wired it up with all the factory hardware. I'm just going to zoom in there so you guys can take a closer look. Here we have the speed controller. You can see here that it fits in the chassis really, really nice. There's plenty of room for your capacitor pack. Even my old school big case transponder fits in there, and the full size Futaba receiver to match up with my radio gear. Here we have the speed controller, and I've mounted it in such a way that the switch is accessible from one side, and the wire is routed in a nice and easy way just over the top here, with the positive and negative wired in a way that I can't reverse polarity if I'm using my batteries, because the negative lead will not reach to the positive, which is a really nice little feature when you're wiring your cars up. I try and do that. Go ahead and plug it in, and I've got the Team Cayote sensor wire fitted underneath the battery tray and coming up into this Orca Blitzstream motor. Okay, so let's power it up and see what we get. So we've got 2 beeps, and that indicates that we're using 2 cells, and the beeping saying that it's not connected. It's telling me now that I don't have the radio gear connected, because of course I don't have the radio gear on. You can hear the little fan in there whizzing away, which is really, really nice. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to go ahead and plug in the program box, and it tells me which way to plug it in on the case, like so. Get the pins, plug it into the program box. I'm going to turn it off actually. I'm going to plug it into the program box, and I'm going to run you through some of the functions and some of the settings that we're looking at. So it's asking me if I want to connect it, so I'll push OK. Loading up. You can see here that it's really concise. You only have to wait like 3 or 4 seconds, and there we go. It's telling me that I've the software that I've had in, and the running mode. And I'm just going to scroll through the initial items. All the items are on one menu, which is really easy to use. So forward brake mode, that's exactly what I'm going to use. Reverse force, well, I don't have reverse engaged. Voltage cutoff, of course, fully adjustable. Got it set at 3.5 volts per cell. Thermal protection on the ESC. Now I've got that enabled. Now you can switch that on or off. And motor thermal protection enabled. Again, some safety nets that you can have on or off. BEC voltage. Now have a listen though, I will show you. When I go up to 7.4 volts and push OK, you can hear the speed on the fan actually pick up because we've increased voltage. So, not something that's absolutely necessary for in most off-road applications or mine, but then back to 6 volts. So you can see how it changes the voltage from 6 to 7 volts, and that powers up your ancillaries from your receiver and your servo as well. Working through remote disable, so you can in fact turn that on so you can hold the brake for 6 seconds, turn the transmitter off, and that will turn the speed controller off, which is really good in like scrutineering practices and stuff when you can't get to the car. Sensor mode, so you can run it in full censored or hybrid mode with no sensor cable. Motor rotation, you can in fact swap A to C phase, so when you're wiring up your car or your touring car, you can make your wiring look as neat as possible, and if you need to swap your A and C phase depending on your orientation, you can do so in the speed controller. Now we go through some of the tuning options: punch switch point, punch start, punch rate second end, so different rates of punch through different cycles of the throttle. Throttle curve, I've got it set on linear. You can put a throttle curve or exponential in there. Neutral range, depends on how sensitive you want your neutral point. Initial throttle, RPM limit, so you can in fact put an RPM limit on there if you're giving a junior driver or a spec class racing a go. Again, some of the coast tuning functions: softening value, softening range, the pulse width drive frequency, that's a very familiar setting to most, changing the pulse width, brake control, drag brake, again, all these items are fully adjustable. Maximum brake force, initial brake force, so you can have a ramp in there as well for your brakes, brake drive frequency, your boost timing. Boost timing is start not by percentage but by our RPM, so that's a really nice little feature. Boost end, boost control, turbo, turbo delay, add turbo, so you can put in a restore default, so you can put it all back to blinky. And there we go. And it's showing me now the motor temperature, the ESC temperature, and the maximum RPM. So that is really, really cool. Can turn that off and turn that fan off. So I am Brett from Hearns Hobbies, and thanks for having a look at the all new Team Cayote gear with me.